Hello and welcome to the Novel Creature Network. I'm your host, Montrez, author of your superpowered urban fantasy, Aaron, and your upcoming next favorite portal fantasy, Labyrinth Park. But today I'm also coming with a special guest, a special feature here. We are branching off into the world of comics. For those who don't know, I am also the editor in chief for Concrete Comics, where I get to fangirl and assist in the production for some amazing works. And I am, if I get tongue tied today here, it's because I'm starstruck by the amazing Onaji. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you,
You're an
thank you, thank
actor,
you.
producer, and award-winning creator. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me, Montrez. Also, amazing editor. Added that. I really love your style of editing. So,
Thank
got
you.
me in shape, folks. She got me in shape.
Oh man, so yeah, I had to take the stars out of my eyes though, because I'm like, okay, definitely a fan of all the work that you've done, and all the work that you're doing. So thank you so much for taking time out to
Anytime.
with us. Um, but like before we get into it, because guys, when you see all the stuff that he's got going on, yeah, um, because again, you're award winning. You've got acting credits. You're producing, and we're going to talk about that later too. Some of the things you got going on with the
Yeah.
film. But what is your author creative origin story? I truly believe here that, our stories, not just the ones that we like to write and read and create, have power, but also our own life story. And
Yeah.
so share your author origin story with us.
Um, I think my author origin story is kind of like all over the place. It kind of comes and goes because as a creative, when you're growing up as a kid, you love to draw. Because I remember I used to love creating characters. And I
Mhm.
used to have like all these imaginary characters that I drawn like with superpowers or different worlds, like from He-Man, Masters of the Universe, all these like different type of characters. However, as I got older, I stopped because I was like, you gotta become an adult. But as you get into teen years, I started picking up comics, and so I was like, this is kind of dope, and like I like reading, and I was like, I never thought I would be doing one. I was like, just like reading it. But reality set in, and I was like, well, if I want to be, the person that kind of pushes the envelope on representation, I was like, I gotta do it myself. So I started creating my own comics. So yeah, so it always started when I was little. I've always liked to draw and create characters. Like yeah,
And let me just take a pause to say, like, for creatives that are able to write and to illustrate in any capacity, my hat goes off to you. I cannot draw or illustrate nothing. I tried to dabble in that because I too love looking at illustrations and stuff.
yeah.
I had characters that I was drawing, they were swimming, people are like, oh, that character's drowning, so
I drew my first actual Odina book, which was in 2000. Well, it was I created the character 2016, but I
mhm.
drew the actual book 2016, but I didn't publish it before Concrete till like 2017. So drawing and writing a book, like you said, is hell. Like I was like, if I can give that task up to some other artist, by all means, like take it. I'll just write about the story because me have to sit there. Oh my god, my attention span is like
That's awesome to be able to have that ability. So, yeah, I'm fangirling extra over that. That's amazing. If you had to do it all yourself, you could.
yeah.
So so you definitely you prefer the writing side when it comes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Definitely, and there's a reason you have created some epic stuff. But let's dive a little bit more into your heroics here and tell us about your creative superpower.
My creative superpower. I never thought of it that way. Ooh, how do I say it? My creative superpower. Remember, I said I was creating, drawing these characters.
Mhm.
So I started giving these characters like personalities, I guess you say. So with these personalities, I was like, well, I can start putting them in stories. Maybe that'll be a thing. So I'll definitely say that is probably my superpower. Is probably creating these characters and to kind of seeing the vision of where you want to do with these characters. So And also like not being limited on what type of characters you want to create. You can create anything, you know. I mean, mainly, you know, I kind of, you know, want to make them black, but you know, that whole thing.
And and I think you're onto something because Odina is quite a character. We're going to get into kind of like the characters that you're creating, but can you show us a little more of the shirt?
Yes, absolutely.
So guys, here's a plug. You can get one of your own, but like Odina is like the hair. Okay, that's the first thing that I was drawn into, like when you see the hair. And
Yeah,
then she's got this like this attitude and this personality, but she's got like the ability to back it up. So
yeah,
you definitely create like those characters that like resonate. They're unforgettable. And I'm not a cosplayer, but I really, if I were to do one, I would
yeah.
want to do Odina.
Yes. I'm trying to find someone to do one like I mean I had someone do one once. I think it was 2021, I think, or 2022. But the years are flying by. But yeah. But I would love to get someone to do one again because that's fun. And with Odina, like I created Odina like from hair to costume, like from like piece by piece. And the hairstyle was inspired by the singer Fantasia.
Oh,
He had wore that's a similar hairstyle. It was like blonde on the side, and it was
mhm.
black like that. And I was like, it's a unique look to give a hero. So I'm gonna try to incorporate that.
Yes, the hair guys. Oh my gosh. But that's not that's just where it starts. She's got the powers and the stuff to match, but we're gonna touch on it. But I think you hit it on the head there. Your creative superpower, you definitely know how to give those characters personality. Um, but with that, what is your kryptonite? What's your weakness or something that you've had to overcome as a creator?
Oh my god, consistency. Like that's the thing about because I think even now I struggle with. Like, remember I said my attention is kind of getting worse as I get older. So it's kind of like, I'll work on something and then I'll be like, oh, wait, I want to go do something else real quick and go walk off. I'm just like, but you got a script to finish. Come on now. And then, like, it's just taking a lot to, like, concentrate. So it pains me. So I'm just like, is there something someone else is doing? Like, is there some type of vitamins people are taking? Like, what the hell is going on? Why can't I sit here and finish this damn script? So,
I'm with you, but I think that that's a creative thing. I think when you have so many things that you want to create and you want to bring to life, it is like you have to hone that focus in. And
yeah.
it does kind of make you wish that there was like, remember that movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper?
Yeah.
We need a Limitless film.
If I had that boy, whoa, my scripts would be stacked.
Yes.
But
So guys, if you have like if you have any suggestions on vitamins, like
God,
create good creative vitamins, or if you create them, let us know in the comments because we need that. We got too much creating to do.
oh
We
my
need our focus.
struggle. Like, oh, it's painful.
But you have done your thing because you have really developed an amazing world of heroes that and you're not just stopping at the comics. You're doing your thing. But like for those who don't know or this is their first time kind of entering into like our comic world here, can you take us on a tour of the world that you have built with Odina
Yeah.
and with some of the other comics that you have?
Yeah. With Odina wasn't originally the actual character I started with at first. It was actually Devin, which is in her book. It was going to be like a tie-in, but with her character, I kind of got more free range to kind of like just focus on the one character. So with her, she's I guess I'll go on and spoil it, but she's actually a hybrid. See, she's thinking she's just a regular superhero, but she's actually a hybrid, which is a demigoddess. And so she's very, she's more powerful. She's probably one of the more powerful ones, but she hasn't evolved to that level yet. And so with her, you have this world where you have, black gods and mythology, and where it's not pulling from the same thing of the Hercules and Zeus, mythology. It's exploring more, African deities and all that stuff, or just folklore, mythical creatures, all that stuff. And so you have these world where, they're descendants of these superheroes. The superheroes are descendants of these gods, but there's a hierarchy to it. So, gods with mortals create hybrids. hybrids with other hybrids don't create nothing, but a hybrid with a mortal, they create a superhuman. So it kind of like balances out as it trickles down. So
And I like that too because like the when you have like that structure, it really helps to immerse you in the world and helps you kind of know how to navigate that. So I love that, guys. So not only are you getting like the fantastic character development here, you're getting the representation without like the because you have amazing names and backstories and like when I looked at your pages, you've got like this distinct look where it's kind of like you get that historical element in there and you get
yeah,
like a regal look to it, but it's dynamic, you know what I mean? And so guys, yeah, you want to check out these pages. You want to hit up Odina. But that's cool. So you gave us a little sneak peek here. So if you guys are really listening, you got kind of like a little Easter egg nugget here. So love it. Now, before we dive deeper into this, for all my novel creatures out there, it is May 4th. So, Star Wars fans, let us know your top three favorite Star Wars characters in the comments. And may the 4th be with you. Let us know. Um, Now, while we're talking about Star Wars, now you have so you've got like characters with godlike strength. We've got superpowers. Do you think, from what you have seen in the Star Wars universe, you think Odina could take Darth Vader or the Jedi?
hell yeah, she take them down. Like
That would be a really cool thing to see. I would love to see somebody do like a fan piece on that.
people like, do not get me twisted. Like I will bring this whole federation to its knees.
Right. I would actually love to see that. I would love to see her and her team take on
You
take
know,
on the dark side.
I would be down for a collaboration. You know, I don't know if Lucas is still doing it, but hey, what's up?
We could do like some fan stuff. That would be cool.
You know.
That would be cool. But yeah, that would be cool. But while we're talking about film, because not only do you have like this iconic, comic character who is just like just like incredible on like the comic scene, but now you're in film, you're doing your thing, like you're just a triple threat here. You write, you can draw, you create characters. Let's talk about your work as an actor and a producer.
Yeah, sure. I started 2018. I started taking acting classes, and so when I was taking acting classes, I was one night I had to give a monologue, and the teacher was like, "You should give a comedic monologue next week." I want you to give me a comedic monologue, and I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Do I need to write it?" He was like, "Try to create one." He's like, "Write one." So I was like, "Okay," because my monologue that previous week was like a serious one, and it was, and for those who don't know, a monologue is like where it's like pretty much like dialogue where you're given this one statement, and it's like a pivotal point in most scenes. Like, say, for instance, Fences with Viola Davis when she's going through that whole thing or whatever. Like, that's like what actors do for like get for auditions. But anywho, so I did I wrote my monologue. It was a comedic monologue, and it was like it couldn't be no longer than a minute or so. So I wrote it, and like I I was so in the moment, like I didn't know, like the class was like cracking up at what I was saying, and the teacher was cracking up, and he was like so impressed. He was like, "Did you really write that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I wrote it. It took me 2 weeks because remember last week I was like, give me one more week." And he was like, you should really look into writing. So I started taking like writing courses and kind of auditioned for like writing rooms. So and when I started, working around like as far as I'm working on like web series and stuff like that, I was like, well, I kind of want to start doing my thing because I really want to get into the sci-fi genre as well as also comedic and all type writing for TV in general or film. So once I started like figuring out like what I need to do my own thing, I didn't know necessarily like what went into producing. It's like a lot. So like, it's like from front to begin, like front to back, like casting, all that stuff. So I met up with John Armour, who's CEO of Open Gate Studios, and he was like, "Bro, we can do this." He was like, "With me and you," he was like, "We can do this. We can create this world, of comics and superheroes." And I was like, okay. So what you need sometimes is that person to be like, "No, you can do it," because you do need a
Yes.
tribe and a team that kind of pull you through like most of this. And I think that's what's most important is when you network and move around, like you'll find your people. And when you find your people, they'll pour into you as well as you pour into them. And so, like when he was like, we can do it. Just, you know, this is what we're gonna do. So wrote the script, started doing the casting. One of my co-producers, I met her through a writer room, and she was like, she wants to help. So everyone I've worked with previously on other projects and stuff. So as I started building my credits and my resume, you start to stay in touch with certain people. So as time went on, even actors in Atlanta, they want that stuff for their reels and stuff. So
Right.
I think we have, how do I say this, one of the most underrated sources of talent here in Atlanta, because most of the time when they come here to film, they don't hire the actors here or the talent. They go back to LA and New York. So they take advantage of the tax credit.
What? Wow.
Yeah, so they take advantage of the tax credit, but they don't hire necessarily the actors or writers or directors and producers here. So yeah, so we all got this community within this community that kind of works. So like what really went into producing was like mind blowing. Like it's like a lot of work into producing. And what a lot of people don't know is around that time, like I was approached about an animation for,
Wow.
yeah. Um, while I was doing that, even though, and this is all before the writer's strike.
Wow.
So the writer's strike kind of slowed momentum on the animation. But since I'm not part of a union and most of us, Georgia's a right to work state, we pretty much still was working on the film. And so it kind of was like, well, we can't stop what we're doing. Like we support our people, and all their whatever, but we kept doing it. So when we finished the project, which we had the premiere last week, and it was like full house. So glad.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. It was originally going to be a series, but I kind of combined it into like a three-part film, so that way people can kind of see it, and so it'll be on streaming soon. So yeah. So,
You gotta keep us posted and updated so we can support that. But then,
absolutely.
but wait. We gotta back stuff up because you said there was a lot of gold in what you've been saying here. First of all, you're located in, well, let me back it up even further. First of all, you talked about how when you produce something, how it has so many working parts.
Mm,
And here with the Novel Creature Network, this is for readers, it's for dreamers, it's for
yeah,
creatives. And I just want to to keep in mind, like, sometimes when you look at our dreams, when you look at the things that you want to do, it can seem so overwhelming. Like,
mhm,
where do I get started? But
yeah,
I think what your story has shown is just when you get started, when you just take that first step,
mhm,
all everything else kind of falls into place. You
yeah,
meet your tribe, you meet your people, and you do it. It just kind of all comes together.
yeah. And interesting you say that because that's pretty much how it's been. It's like when you start, just put the effort forth. Don't worry about everything else. God will start forming everything around you. He'll start
Yes.
bringing the right people around you. He'll start introducing you to the right room. So trust me, like just do the work, put your best foot forward, pray you stay protected, even though you'll run into some interesting people who will. But yeah, just trust. It's part of the journey. Just put it. Just do it. Like, and don't worry about it. Yeah.
Definitely. So then on top of that, so as you were building and growing, you're in one of the most amazing places to be about business.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what the creative life is like in Atlanta?
Yeah. And the creative life in Atlanta is its own like world. Like what I love about Atlanta is that it's kind of like a huge HBCU for like they call it the Black Mecca, but I like to think of it as like a huge HBCU because you have so many different Black life here. whether it's entrepreneurs, creatives, you know, socialites, all that stuff, reality TV, all that stuff. But I think with creatives, we have our own community. You have artists, people, painter, galleries, um, cosplayers, you know, anime, conventions, all that type of stuff. So it's amazing to have that, to see ourselves in these different walks of life. So I'm here for it. And a creative life in Atlanta is basically like you just got to work for it. Like, it's going to be a hustle, but put in the time and effort. Trust me, you'll get to a point where it's kind of working for you. So it's you're not alone. That's for sure.
Definitely. And I think that's amazing because a lot of times, when people, when they want to pursue certain things, especially in like acting, film,
Yeah.
they kind of think I've got to go to LA, or,
Yeah.
if I want to get into books or creativity, I got to go to New York.
Yeah.
But we've got so many other creative hubs where you can find inspiration.
Yeah. You just got to network and find like the right outlets. Like even with acting, like if you want to act, I would say go to an acting class to really like train first. And also, if you want to learn what goes on in set, especially start off on like independent sets, like SCAD is here. So SCAD, they usually do short films. So actors are auditioned for them just to have stuff for their reels. People will say, I want to help out on set, just to get that feel for it. Just try, try to put yourself in those positions so that way, when the time comes, you're prepared to handle what actually is thrown your way.
So you've talked about kind of what like life in Atlanta is like, kind of like the acting and producing and everything it takes. But let's talk about the amazing things that you've created
Yeah.
along your journey. Let's talk about Drafted Origins.
Sure. Drafted Origins was originally going to be the Adina series live action slash film. However, like I said, I had other things kind of going on. So I kind of fell back and retooled it where I kind of want to drop you in this world and kind of make it more grounded. So I wanted to kind of like introduce more characters and kind of make it like a heroes meets Black Lightning type feel to it.
Yes.
You meet more of a dynamic ensemble cast. So you get to meet Odina, who's played by Deanna Diane, and she doesn't have the infamous haircut, but it's kind of similar to that right now. Budget. But we get to meet other characters like the villains, the bad guys, as well as also new characters like Anthony Mitchell, who's a telepath and a psionic. So yeah, and you get to meet like this place called the Sanctum, which is where people with superhuman kind of live, who kind of homeless. So this is where they go. So it's kind of a world within Odina, and eventually it will be introduced in the comics because this is part of world building. You don't want to just throw them away. So, but yeah, so it's kind of basically like these people are crossing paths, and so people get beat up and holding grudges, and people figure out like, oh, he's not the big bad. This is the big bad. Like, so yeah.
I love it. I love it. So you're really roping us into that world, and like you said, you've got that creative superpower for characters, and so we're really getting to see it in more than one medium.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's so amazing because you've taken this like huge, this huge milestone, and really, you've made it into something just amazing. And so it's exciting to support. Now, earlier you said that you had your premiere for that, and it
Yes.
was a full house. How was that?
Oh my God, it was unbelievable. Still, I'm still not fully like,
Processing it?
yeah, it's kind of like still not hitting me. Even though like it was kind of one that I literally like had a moment where I broke down on stage because I didn't realize how long I've been doing this. And so like because when the person asked, it was like, well, what will you say to the person who's trying to move to Atlanta, who's trying to be creative, and they only have like $20 or something in their bank account. I remember when I moved, I ain't have like only but $200 in my bank account. I was like,
Right.
struggle.
Yes.
so so from 2009 till now, like to have that moment, I was like, oh, like yeah, I was that idiot, but but it was amazing. And not only that, but what I really love is that the people showed up, they enjoyed it, and the cast enjoyed themselves. Like to me, like that is my reward is like seeing the cast like really like get involved and like be like, I want to do another one. Like, they're really involved in these characters. So that means the world to me when everyone else is like gung ho about it. So yeah.
Definitely, because you've seen like some of the actors, like they promote movies and they low key try to tell you like it's not good. Like,
Yes.
so to see that excitement, I think that's definitely a testament to what you've created here.
Yeah.
And I mean, just to see like your journey, and then I can't imagine like how surreal that must feel, like from just being that kid who draws and creates characters to creating like a multi-award winning comic
Yeah.
to creating your own film
Yes.
and people asking for more.
Yeah. It was one of the moments I was like, wow, okay. I was like, okay, God, we're doing this.
And yeah, you definitely haven't done it halfway. You are all in, and it's just so amazing to see. But something else that I want to bring out, you said that Drafted Origins is kind of like a Heroes meets Black Lightning, and that's big because I don't think a lot of people, or at least for me, Heroes was kind of like the reemergence of the superhero. Like we had
Yeah.
hit a spell spot, but when Heroes came out, man, and there was a writer strike around that time too.
Yes.
Killed Heroes. But
Well, I was like, granted, it did not so much as hinder me, but you could
right,
feel like the tension of the
right,
strike going on. So, and because that was a good show, but when the writer strike, it kind of killed the momentum of it. And wow, look at that. Mm.
yeah, the parallels. It's funny.
That is
I
crazy.
mean, not like cheeky funny, but like ironic funny. But so when you said it's like Heroes and Black Lightning, I got really excited because I'm a huge Heroes fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my Heroes fans out there, Black Lightning fans, you got to check out Drafted Origins. And let's touch on that too. Like, so the impact of writers, like
Yeah.
you see that, and the actors, like the strike,
Yeah.
yeah, it had a huge
Yeah.
impact
Yeah. I
on.
don't I don't think people realize like, and I kind of knew it. Well, first of all, I was given a heads up about the strike before it happened. It was like, because when they go through that motion, like one of the producers for the other project I was working on, he was like, "Well, we got to get a meeting on board before this strike happens." And I was like, "What strike?" He was like, "This writer strike." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So you being a producer, and maybe it's just me. I don't know how other producers operate. I don't know. I can't. Seeing what goes on, but like behind the scenes, like the audition process,
Right,
what the actors go through before they get in front of the camera, like how they got to process stuff. Uh, Directors, having food and stuff for the actors that day, like everything, like booking locations, like all that good stuff. Everything goes into the stuff we do. So to not value the writers and the actors and people involved is kind of like, yeah, we kind of really need them. So cough up the money. Like,
right, right. Yeah, that's like the biggest when you talk about community and tribe and teamwork. There, and you look at the end credits on projects. There's
yeah,
so many people that go into like
yes,
creating this, and you don't value the people who are doing stuff. It's wild.
yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like writers' rooms, like it's a reason why they're in there, like trying to create these compelling stories, like from front to back, like the episodes and the story
right.
plots and themes. Like that's very intricate. And then to go through, casting, who you're gonna say is really gonna like fit the role to convince people like watch the series. And it's a lot.
Right.
So
So yeah, so that's again, my hat goes off to you because you've taken like this big dream and you've tackled it. And Drafted Origins is here.
thank
Like
you.
you said, it will be streaming soon. Do you know what platforms will be able to support that?
It might be quite a few. So yeah, so I definitely once I get the go ahead, I will definitely let everyone know. I will let everyone know. So trust
And with that, guys, please be sure to follow Onaji on Instagram at Obsolete Studios LLC, and check out his work on Concrete Comics. We've got bundle boxes where you can just get all of them, get all of Odina. It's also featured in our Women of Concrete. We've got, because you not just did Odina, but you've got a couple projects
me. Yes.
that are attached to that, and you've got more coming, right? We've got Kandaki. We've got just so many great things. You've got like an incredible backlist for that. So we can truly immerse ourselves in the worlds that you've created, put our feet into the character shoes that you've created. You've just got a stunning cast of characters. And now to know that we'll be able to watch it and stream it on like multiple platforms is exciting. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. So please follow and support, share, buy up all the comics, follow and just support all the amazingness that's coming. But with that, so you've already done so many amazing things. But what else can we expect in 2024 and beyond?
Well, issues 5 and 6 are on their way for Odina, so
Yes.
we're getting that ready for everyone. So I can't wait for everyone to see those final books because I'm really excited about that final battle to see with Odina and Lady T. So um,
Mhm.
to close out that story arc, I'm ready to take this character to more, like I said, more of a deeper perspective. So you get to really dive more in her life while she's kicking butt. So yeah, so you get to see like what comes after. So I can't wait for that. Kandaki issue 2 is being worked on as well. So I can't wait for people to see more of that because that's going to also give more context of like where she came from and what part she got to where she at. And also film wise, I am currently I'm working on breaking down this film, another collaboration with Open Gate Studios. Volume 2 is already written, the script for part 2, but I'm actually doing another script. So I'm definitely looking for more collaborations with other directors and producers as far as in writing stuff. So yeah,
Wow. So okay, so you said, for clarification, volume two for Drafted Origins is coming?
yes, part
All
2 of
right.
film, yeah.
Yes. Yes. And question for you, because I know that you did a little bit of comedy with the acting. So are we going to see some comedic works in the future?
That's what the script is. One of the actual scripts. It's a comedic style like feature. So
Yes. So guys, please get on this. When I tell you, and when I tell you, I think I said it earlier, but I had to take the stars out of my eyes because I'm already a huge fan of Dina. And when you read the epic conclusion for the current installment, oh my gosh, that battle sequence is phenomenal. It's not only kicking butt, but it's like epic butt kicking. Like
uh,
and all with the good hair. All with that iconic hairstyle. So yeah,
I
I can't
appreciate it.
wait. And then to, after like this glorious conclusion, to just kind of like take a step back and, in your future issues, be able to see her from like a more personal standpoint. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
You do such an amazing job of like really inviting us into this world. So I think fans of your work are going to go crazy.
Thank you so much. That's why I'm so excited. I can't wait till people see issue 7 because I definitely gave more of a personal touch to it when it comes to like her as a character. So and people get to like I don't know. I'm just so excited. Like I'm super excited. Like I was pumped doing the first 6 books, but now I'm even more pumped because then it also is this new story arc and this new villain
Oh my gosh.
and maybe a new character, but you get to see her kind of evolve. So that's what I'm excited about.
That's going to be fantastic. So, oh my gosh.
And I can't wait
Yes.
till you edit it too. So
I'm excited. Listen, I'm ready for the pages now. I'm ready. But so with that, like you've got so much for us to like do and support. You know, you're everywhere. But how can we best celebrate and support you and the work that you've created?
yes, follow me on IG, and also, just I got all my links in there. Whether you share the trailer, when I make the announcements, just share the stuff. And also, I have the bundle link in there for the Adina books as well, and Kandaki and Sister Circle. So, yeah, just follow me on IG just to stay updated. So, yeah.
And guys, it's big. I don't know if everybody watching knows, but like Instagram and like all these social medias, like the algorithm and the way that they push content is so crappy. So
Yeah,
if you love what we're doing, sharing is so crucial. Just hit that share button, hit that like button, and leave a comment. Even if it's like a little heart or love this, that stuff is such creative fuel because I don't know about you, Onaji, but there's some days where like we just ain't feeling it. Like
yeah.
I only got
No,
2 views,
no.
these characters ain't talking to me.
Yeah, no, seriously. There are times where you will probably go look out a window and just be like,
Yeah.
"Do I really want to do this?" Then you'd be like, "Yeah, I came this far."
Again, this is for the readers, for the dreamers and creatives. Leave us with a bit of blur inspiration, something we can take with us in our own creative journeys.
Yeah, just look. It's not gonna be easy. I'm gonna tell you this. Like, no step in life is gonna be easy. That's why you just gotta just do the work. Let God use you to do the work. And once you start doing it, trust me, he'll start forming the universe around you to the point where you won't even recognize, like I told you, like when I had my moment, like I didn't realize like what I've come from. So where it all started. So to go through that, like you just be like, whoa, it's gonna hit you like, there's some progress. So just do the work, trust me, keep your head held high and just rock out to some music sometimes. That's that'll help you.
Music is it's a great mood picker upper.
Yeah. Put on that Cowboy Carter.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for just everything. Like talking to you has just truly, I'm excited to see what you've got going on. I'm ready to like kick on some music and conquer my little mountains here.
Yeah, go
It's
for it.
always a pleasure to talk to you. And
Even if you can, like go stand outside, get some air. Like trust me, like right now the season is getting a little better. So, but I appreciate you having me. I really thank you so much for having me. I had a blast. It's like one of the best interviews, Montrez.
oh
Like,
wow, that means a lot.
yeah,
But I seriously, I love everything you're doing. So to anyone tuning in, please just check out everything. Buy the bundles. You won't be disappointed because once you read the first issue, you're gonna want to keep going. And then you get to tune into Drafted Origins, which I'm so excited about. So guys, please follow Onaji. You won't be disappointed. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time. And thank you, Onaji, for being here.
uh-huh.
Seriously, thank you. But
Thank
until
you.
next time, happy reading, everybody.
All right, bye, Montrez.